everyone, welcome back to my channel. Last time we were together, we talked about the show Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. And in this episode, we will be talking about Franklin. Just like last time, this video will be broken down into 4 different categories: characters, story, production, and the end of Franklin. So, let's begin.
Let's go
Franklin is an animated television show aimed for preschool kids. It is based on the books Franklin the Turtle by Brenda Clark and Paulette Bourgeois. Franklin has a lot of different media, which includes Franklin the 1997 show, Franklin and Friends 2011, and various films such as Franklin and the Green Knight, Franklin's Magic Christmas, Back to School with Franklin, and Franklin and the Turtle Lake Treasure. For now, we will only be focusing on the 1997 version of the show since it's the most iconic one. But the Christmas one is an extremely close, second, so I would talk about it, but it is March, so it's March, not Christmas. The show was produced by Nelvana. It aired on CBC Television, Family Channel, Treehouse TV, and CBC Kids Show. The first episode was aired November 3rd, 1997. It would soon air on Nick Jr. in 1999 as part of the Nickelodeon channel, but wouldn't air on the solely exclusively Nick Jr. channel till 2002. I also didn't even know that Nick Jr. had its own channel. I thought it was just part of Nickelodeon. The more you know. Of course, those are just the Canadian and American channels, but if you are from the UK, Franklin aired on Sky 1, Channel 4, Tiny Living, Nick Jr., 5, and Tiny Pop. If you are Australian, Franklin aired on ABC. Franklin carried out 78 episodes, meaning 156 segments total, all amongst 6 seasons. Each season had 13 episodes, I'm pretty sure. Franklin Turtle is the main character of this show, if that wasn't already obvious. Unlike some children's shows, Franklin is in every episode, and every episode is either about him or from his perspective. So it could be about a different character, taking the main plot of the show, but Franklin will be there and we'll kind of get his perspective of things. And sometimes we won't get his perspective, but he's in every episode. However, the Turtle family is not just comprised of Franklin, and it has a few different characters. Mr. and Miss Turtle are Franklin's parents. They are gentle and loving, but also give good guidance and discipline when necessary. Harriet is Franklin's younger sister. She was introduced to the Franklin universe in the movie Franklin and the Green Knight, and would be shown in episodes starting in season 5 onward. We as well meet Franklin's grandparents in the movie Franklin's Magic Christmas. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure they're Miss Turtle's parents. And then Mr. Turtle's parents we never meet. They're kind of assumed to be, They live on a farm and they share the gentle trait as well. In the movie Franklin and the Turtle Lake Treasure, we meet Aunt Lucy and her goddaughter, Sam. Not to be confused with Franklin's stuffed dog, Sam. Sorry for this lighting, I'm just editing right now, and as I was getting clips for Aunt Lucy, I found out that the Wikipedia lied. The other grandparents, Franklin does have his mom's parents, which are the ones on the farm, and then his father's mother is still alive. I'm not too sure about the father's father. And Aunt Lucy is Mr. Turtle's sister. And I will show you what Mr. Turtle's mom looks like now.
At your sister's visiting.
Aunt Lucy? Is she here?
Moving outside the Turtle family, we have Bear, who is Franklin's best friend. And just like Franklin in later seasons, his sister is introduced, and her name is Beatrice. Some of Franklin's other friends include Snail, Beaver, Goose, Rabbit, Fox, Badger, Raccoon, and Skunk. As you can tell, none of them have very creative names. Let's start our analysis off with the theme song. Hey, it's Franklin. No, I can't sing it this time. I sung Maggie in the Ferocious Beast, and I regret it every second of the day. Hey, it's Franklin, coming over to play, growing a little every day. So we're just gonna wait. We might have to restart that a bit because I can't sing it, and I know this sounds weird. It's like slam poetry, okay? We're being poetic with each other. That's our relationship, okay? Hey, it's Franklin, coming over to play, growing a little every day. Here he comes with all his friends. They've got stories, got time to spend with you. Hey, it's Franklin, coming to your house. Hey, it's Franklin, coming to my house. Hey, it's Franklin. I need to find a better way to talk about these theme songs because I'm killing myself slowly while doing this. In this theme song, we don't really learn much other than who Franklin is. I was also listening to Taylor Swift while researching, and to be exact, I was listening to Folklore, and I think Franklin would be a folklore girly. I could just feel it inside me. The first episode is called Franklin Plays the Game. The episode opens with a shot of Franklin's house, which is such a beautiful house, by the way. I want to live in it, and I feel like this house is evidence enough that he would be listening to Folklore. Inside the house, Franklin is getting ready for soccer. However, he has some criticism on his moves. He can't kick the ball in a straight line, and we learn that his soccer team has not won any games the entire season. And then we get a shot of Franklin eating pancakes topped with flies. Delicious. Franklin is then at soccer practice, and we are shown just how badly Franklin is at kicking this ball. He kicked it, but it bounced absolutely everywhere and somehow ended up back to him, which honestly is a trick shot in itself. They also only have a team of 3. Now, I don't play soccer, but I'm pretty sure you need more than 3 players. And Franklin is not the only person on that team who sucks. They all do. Considering Goose caught the ball and then was confused how that's a foul, and Beaver tripped on thin air an inch away from the ball. To sum it up, the team sucks. However, we meet Rabbit, who turns out was also on that team, making it a total team of 4, which I'm still pretty sure is too small. But he complains about his big feet, so he's really not much help either. The game begins, and already the other team is kicking straighter than Franklin ever could. The other team is Bear, Skunk, Fox, and Raccoon. Bear gets the first goal because Rabbit just stands there and then dives for the ball after it's already in the net. Honestly, Franklin's team also just doesn't act like a team. It doesn't have that teen spirit. I meant to say it doesn't have that team spirit, but Franklin's team just doesn't have that team spirit. They don't communicate, they argue over absolutely everything, and just compared to the other team, they just lack. The game carries on with Bear's team leading, so much that the goalie Skunk is sitting and reading, which I don't think that's allowed. It's honestly very sad and pathetic to watch this game because Franklin's team isn't even trying. They're just standing in the field, and the score is 10-0. And I think we all know what team won. Spoiler, it wasn't Franklin. Next day is raining, and we see Bear picking berries. He overhears some laughter and goes to investigate, and he sees Franklin's team practicing. And we find out they've been practicing all week, so actually this is not the next day. I don't know why I said that. The positions have changed. They learn that Goose is better at catching the balls and protecting the net, so they put her into goalkeeper instead of on the field. However, Beaver is still tripping on thin air, and Rabbit, despite his advantage of big feet, can't keep the ball. But Goose was able to save the ball, which is development in my eyes. Franklin's team then scores their first goal, and the end results in them losing, but they had at least scored one goal. And that was enough to prove that their hard work had paid off. The team then learns that winning isn't everything, and just because you aren't winning does not mean you are not having fun. Now, before we cover the last episode of Franklin, let's talk about how the show came to an end. But before we get into that, I want to talk about how when I was looking for a reason why it ended, I came across this link that said Franklin Turtle is disgusting and should be canceled. Now, I don't know what beef that person has with Franklin because I couldn't actually view it. I clicked on it and it was a really sketchy website, by the way. I probably got a virus from that. But also it said to view the post I need to be registered, but I'm not giving them any of my information. So if you have been on that website, please tell me why that person hates Franklin. And I'm not even sure why this show ended. I could not find anything. When I also tried searching up just Franklin in general, it kept giving me this other show that had the name Franklin, and so it was really hard to find anything when it came to Franklin. But I do know that it was taken off air to be replaced with the remake Franklin and Friends in 2011. The last episode is titled Franklin Figure Skates, which was released August 8th, 2004. The show opens with Franklin on his way to play hockey with his friends Rabbit and Bear. The group was supposed to play a big game with all their friends, but half of them canceled or some of them were sick. Bear suggests for them to play 2-on-1, but Franklin is not thrilled and he makes up some excuse to leave. So instead of playing hockey, Franklin goes over to the next pond where Beaver and Raccoon are figure skating. They are practicing for their performance at the Woodland Ice Show. Woodland is where they live, by the way. On the Wikipedia, it goes into full detail and depth about this place. Raccoon has to leave because he is late for his piano practice, which makes Beaver a bit stressed. She explains how she still has some practice to do and how the show is the upcoming weekend. She asks if Franklin can fill in Raccoon's spot just for when they're practicing. And she shows Franklin the steps and she explains and demonstrates, and then she looks over and Franklin's leaving. He just leaves. She stops him and Franklin admits that he can't help her because of the one skating move in their performance where he has to skate backwards. He admits that he's scared to skate backwards because he doesn't want to crack open his shell, which is the same reason why he was nervous to play 2-on-1, because he would have been doing defense, and I guess that was too rough for him. Beaver explains that it's okay to be scared. She's scared of skating on one foot, but it's easier to practice when you have someone who knows how to do it. Beaver straps a pillow onto Franklin's shell to give him some sort of comfort with his fear, and Beaver begins to teach him how to skate backwards. And honestly, he catches on pretty quickly until he almost crashes into Beaver's house. But Franklin continues to help Beaver, and Beaver continues to help Franklin. And it is now the day of the ice show, and Franklin is there to support Beaver and Raccoon. However, during the warm-up, Raccoon sprained his ankle by falling on the ice, resulting in him having to sit out. The two are devastated, but Franklin offers to step in and take Raccoon's place. They perform the routine, but it ends in a bit of a terrible state, with Franklin noticing Beaver's skate untied, causing her to trip, and Franklin trying to catch her, but then he falls as well. Now, I don't skate, but I have skated before. It's in my blood mixed with that maple syrup. No, I'm joking. My brother skates, and if I'm not mistaken, skates that aren't tied properly can result in sprains or even broken ankles because they're super tight. They cut off my circulation a bit. So I don't know how Beaver came out of that okay. Anyway, Beaver plays it off like it was supposed to happen, and the episode ends with Franklin, Rabbit, and Beaver playing hockey. Personally, I don't remember much of this show. I loved Franklin, don't get me wrong, and I know I watched it, but it's not one of those shows where I have like a distinct memory of it or an episode or plot that like stuck with me compared to other shows. However, I watch the Christmas movie every year, even as a 19-year-old. It's just a beautiful movie, and it gives me that like nostalgia I love to get during the holidays. All the sources I use in this video are going to be linked in the description below. Let me know if you enjoyed this and if there are any other shows I should cover. Bye!